Hello, this is the final lesson in this packet, so please make sure you're on page 7. And again, we're going to be using tables and measures of central tendency like we did last lesson. Speaking of last lesson, this question should have been on page 6. And before it was copied, I didn't realize that this question ended up on page 7. So let's go back and refer to page 6. If Sunday's temperature was 70 degrees, and if you recall, the highest temperature was 28 degrees, would the new mean be the best measure of the center of data? So if we replace 28 from yesterday's lesson with 70, and you can just watch this, you don't have to turn back and forth. What would have happened is our data would have all added up to 98. We would have divided that by 7, and our new mean would have been 14 degrees. And if you do flip back, you may notice that all of the other temperatures, 6 temperatures, are smaller, are lower than 14 degrees, and only one temperature is higher, and that would be, in this case, the 70 degrees. 70 degrees is clearly, if you compare it to negative 4 degrees and 10 degrees and 4 degrees that was in the table yesterday, is clearly an outlier, an extreme outlier that would adversely affect the mean and make the mean not a good measure of center. So now let's go on to today's lesson. We're going to first be asked to find the median. So again, we're going to put the data in order from smallest to largest. So the smallest temperature is 40, and 40 degrees is seen twice. So we're going to go ahead and check those off as we do them. Next, it's 55, followed by 56, and then 61 degrees, followed by 2 70-degree days, which sound very appealing right now. So we now have 7 numbers accounted for. Again, because there's a lower number of data, 7 items, we can see that we're going to have 3 numbers that are below the middle and 3 numbers that are above the middle. Again, we can always do our technique where we're crossing off one at the beginning and one at the end, one at the beginning, one at the end, until we come up with the middle number. So for this data set, the median temperature is 56 degrees. And as I look at the mode, this time there's 2 mode numbers because 40 degrees and 70 degrees both are repeated twice. So for the mean, we're going to add up all the numbers and then divide by 7. So we would start by showing our work since that's requested. Again, you can use your calculator on your iPad. And you may pause it to find this sum. The sum is 392. So we take that sum, our total, and divide it by the number of data items. Since this is 7 days temperatures, there should be 7 temperatures there. And again, you can use your calculator. You may pause if you need to. And that answer should be 56. Question 4 asks us to find the range, and we can see that 70 is the highest number, 40 is the lowest number, so the range is 30 degrees. Our last question says, what do you notice about the median and the mean? Do you think either one is the best measure of center? Well, once again, it turns out that on this page, the median and the mean are exactly the same. And since they're the same, yes, either one would be the best measure of center. Because we have 2 modes and both are the highest and the lowest numbers, the mode would not be a good measure of central tendency, but the mean and median in this case, which is, by the way, a coincidence on both this page and the last page, that they both were exactly the same. So this is the last page in our packet. And would you please take the time to go back and complete any of the lessons that you've not completed, and then you may turn it in. Enjoy the rest of your day.